This challenge comes to us from Gaming Shorts. Challenge: gather all your evidence on cameras. I've never actually attempted a challenge that surrounded the cameras themselves, so this will be interesting. I almost feel like I'm going to be a security guard or a night watchman. So I guess that's just what I'm going to call the challenge. The Night Crew Challenge.
It's party time!
I just realized something. While I'm on the cameras, I won't be able to use the thermometer or the spirit box. So I guess that does limit the pieces of technology that I can bring into the house. I really have to rely on my EMF and the grid. I'll bring a flashlight, obviously, to maybe turn the light back on if the lights get turned off. But for the most part, I really just have to fill out all my inventory slots with stuff that could be knocked out of my hands. Better do this quick before the ghost gets a little active. Set up the camera here, just in case the ghost does anything and knocks out the power. I'm going to try and go into the bedroom and use the cameras there just to start off with. Oh, EMF right from the get-go. Perfect. Okay, so that's one bit of evidence down. Man, you are all about that EMF. Listen, pal, I only bought enough battery. Man, you're gonna burn the batteries out. Uh-oh. Well, oh, thanks. I thought I was gonna meet my untimely demise for a second there, but you did me a solid. Still nothing yet aside from EMF. I guess I have to hope for more passive stuff to happen. Ooh. Okay, I see you. I didn't see any orbs, though. For whatever reason, this ghost is really focused on wherever I'm at, so that's a bit of an issue. Okay? EMF. He's in the room. He's not doing anything else. Let's try looking at the camera that I set up in the corner over here. He really likes that bedroom for some reason. You know what? I might actually move the camera in there and try to get him that way. Perfect. And then I'll set the camera right here. So now I've invaded your space. What are you gonna do now? Okay, he's there. What you gonna do, bud? The floor is yours. Okay, I see you. Yeesh. I don't see any orbs, like, at all. So, I'm gonna have to eliminate that as an option. The other thing I'm noticing is that nothing evil has happened. Like, nothing's been knocked out of my hands. And at this point, I've also concluded the fact that there isn't any ghost writing for the most part. I might have to move the camera one more time. Okay, so now it's sitting kind of in the corner a little bit. And the ghost is still playing around with that EMF. He really likes it for some reason. I don't think he has anything passive, because I haven't seen anything evil. I haven't seen any ghost writing, and at this point, I don't see any orbs. So at this rate, if he hasn't done any of the passive stuff, the only ghost that I can think of that has all main category items, like the EMF, thermometer, and the spirit box, is a Jumbie. And there we go. Alright, so the next map is going to be the apartment, and I have an interesting plan for that one. And you'll see why. As much as I hate this idea, I'm going to use myself as bait. Since we have cameras in the apartment that point towards the bedroom and the hallway, I'm going to start off this whole playthrough by putting everything in the bedroom, aside from this portable camera, because I can just set up here in the corner. And then from there, I'll let the ghost try to do whatever it can in the same room as me, and then that way, I'll get my evidence. Okay. So, the lights are off in the living room. Maybe he'll transition to here, potentially. He's not going to be able to sneak in here. At least, I'd like to think he won't be able to, because I have the grid set up, and I have an EMF that is right there if he is able to trigger it. So now we just have to play the waiting game. If nothing works out here in the bedroom, I might just have to... Well, I see the orbs, and I see some red eyes, so that indicates the Hat Man is among us. But as I was saying, if nothing works in the bedroom here and he is just blatantly active in the living room, then I'll pack up shop here and move over there. I might as well just do that right now. I guess the benefit from the portable camera is that I don't have to worry about, you know, the power being knocked out. So we will sit here and see if our ghost happens to do anything of interest.
A few moments later.
Just my luck. I set up everything in the room that the ghost is active in, and he just disappears. Well, there's a problem here. The grid is fused to this corner over here, so I guess I've lost the grid. Not a problem, I don't really need it anyway, so I'll just move on with the portable camera and just kind of make up ground that way. So we got the portable camera looking down the hallway now. And with the added feature of the darkness here, I can actually catch any ghost writing a little bit easier.
One eternity later.
I haven't seen anything EMF related, so I'm tempted to rule that out. I haven't seen anything evil, and I have not seen any ghost writing, so I might have to start crossing things out here. Just keeping orbs in as a factor, and removing the EMF, and removing anything else passive, it could be a Moroi. So I'll move the camera one more time, but I get the feeling that it is a Moroi. So I've set up the camera in a different angle in the living room to see if I can catch anything ghostwriting related. Because if I don't see anything at all, and nothing gets knocked out of my hands while I'm looking at the camera, then I think it's probably going to be a Moroi. Also keeping an eye on the EMF just in case it does do anything, because... Oh, see, he's right there. He's right against the wall near the EMF, but he's not doing anything with it. You know what? I think I have enough evidence. I don't see anything disproving the fact that it is Moroi, so let's just go with that. Okay, second ghost down. So it came down to the portable camera. I might have to employ that a little bit more religiously because while the security cameras do help, they don't get strategic points that I really need. And I guess that's perfect for me because I'm going to be moving to a map that does not have any cameras at all, at least built into the map, and that is the forest. There's only one spot that really makes sense to sit the camera at on the forest, and that's sitting near the crossroads. As you can see, I have full view of this rock here that will give me any ghost writing. I can also see down the way here to see if there's any ghost spawns or ghost orbs or whatever down here. And then over here, the ghost sometimes spawns as well, so I have all my bases covered. And since this is a very common spot for the ghost to spawn, I don't think I really need to move from here, but again, I could have my mind changed as the time goes on. So all we have to do now is wait. Uh-oh. Well, I know it's evil. That actually caught me a little off guard there.
2,000 years later.
Okay, he's hovering near the EMF. Nothing's happened, though. So I might have to rule EMF out as an actual piece of equipment. I see orbs! So it could either be a dupie, meaning I need to see EMF readings. It could be a debug, meaning I need to see ghost writing. Or it could be a shade, and I need to see temperature readings. So I really need to see if there's any ghost writing, because I'm basically ruling out the fact that it is a dupie. So if there is ghost writing anywhere, that pretty well seals the deal. Still not seeing anything that's making me believe that it isn't a shade. My gut feeling is going with the shade, so I'm going to choose shade. I'm finding as this challenge goes on, it's not so much what evidence you find, it's more about eliminating evidence that you don't have. So it's really testing my knowledge on this game and almost making me a little bit of a detective in some ways. Alright, so we're going to move on to the general store and see if we can put our new detective skills to good use. So I really need to consider the idea that I'm going to have to put the portable camera in a spot where I can see the ghost potentially, the EMF, the grid, and ghost writing. So there's one spot on the map that I can think of that will basically get me everything. It is the very right-hand side of the entire store. Okay, I got my extra items all set to go. Let's try to catch this ghost. Alright, so you can see here, the ghost will probably appear somewhere around here, either right next to this shelf, or just barely behind there, kind of hanging out in the corner. The ghost writing will be apparent if you're looking at this wall, the EMF is right there, and I can see anything moving just in this general vicinity here with the grid. We'll keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully the ghost puts on a little bit of a show. Whoa! Okay. Holy cow, that scared the Christmas tree out of me. Okay, so we have 4 options here. It's either going to be a poltergeist, meaning I need to see EMF activity. It's a Vitella, meaning I need to see spirit box activity, which I obviously can't use. It's a Gelin, meaning I need to see temperatures, which, again, I obviously can't use. Or it's a Debug, meaning that it's evil. I basically have to hope that the ghost knocks something out of my hands, or the EMF goes off. Because if either don't, then I have to suppose that the activity of the ghost is a dead giveaway as to what it is. At that point, it's almost a guessing game between a Vitella and a Gelin, so hopefully it doesn't come down to that. It'd be a real weird reality if I'm dealing with a really active Gelin, because they tend to be pretty timid ghosts, at least the ones that I've dealt with. Oh boy. Okay, so the activity is going to ramp up considerably now. Oh boy. There goes the power. I'm going to leave it off for the time being because it'll be a little bit easier to see things. Like ghost orbs, ghost writing, or more importantly, the EMF in the distance over there. I don't think it's a poltergeist, and I don't think it's a Debug. Well, whatever this ghost is, it's not very active. At least, not where I place the camera. Well, you know what? I say things and the ghosts, they always try to prove me wrong. Every time. Holy cow. Yeah. The ghost writing is ramped up considerably. At least looking down that hallway there. You know what? With all the activity that has been happening, and the fact that it basically rehashed that same ghost writing portion of the wall over there 2 extra times, I get the feeling that it's a Vitella. Because a Gelin's a little bit more skittish than that. It'll do ghost writing, but... See, there it is again. It'll do ghost writing, but not to that point. It'll just do a little bit of ghost writing, and then it kind of disappears and tries to hide away from you. So, I do think it's a Vitella.
I knew you could do it.
Okay. That was a pretty difficult challenge, if I do say so myself. I didn't realize what I was getting into until I noticed that I couldn't use the thermometer or the spirit box. Nevertheless, we got through everything by sheer will of determination and our new detective skills. So Gaming Shorts, thank you very much for a very unique challenge that I never would have thought of. If you'd like to be like Gaming Shorts and have your challenge done by yours truly, and I have to remind you guys, once again, it has to be something that is not familiar or a dead-on copycat of someone else's challenge. Leave your challenge idea in the comments down below. But until next time, guys, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'll see you guys soon.